SuperTalk Mississippi Media production.
Have you been seriously injured? Mama Justice is here for you. Our medical team partners with top-notch doctors, surgeons, therapists, and urologists, ensuring a comprehensive recovery journey. If you've been injured, call Mama Justice today. We're here for you.
I'm Steve Azar, and I'm on the other side of the microphone, meaning I'm asking the questions this time, and oh, have mercy for the airwaves. I spent 20 years in Music City, wrote and made some hits, traveled the world, and then moved my family back to the birthplace of American music and where the magnolia trees prosper. And now every time I put my feet on Mississippi soil, when I'm off the road, well, I'm at peace. On this show, it's all about hearing the stories straight from the mouths of the friends I've made along the way, their journey to success. Heck, there might be someone on, I don't even know, but you know how us Mississippi types are. We tend to take well to new company. In a Mississippi Minute, all 60 of them. I'm Steve Azar.
It's just like that muddy river, moving slow. Ain't no worries, it's how life goes, baby. In a Mississippi Minute. That's right.
Hey folks, time for another In a Mississippi Minute. Steve Azar here. Always love reminding you that my pals over there in Macon, Mississippi, they make the catfish. Please head on over to superiorcatfish.com and visit Mississippi.org. You know, as your music and culture ambassador of this beautiful state and this hallowed ground we call Mississippi, grateful for that. Plan a road trip to your Mississippi. Recently, today's guest and his bride, Val, they made a road trip to the Delta, I think for the first time, and we're going to ask him and clarify that in a minute. But let's get to it. Today's guest stands at 6'8" and is as kind as he is tall. A former power forward, played in the NBA for almost 15 seasons, started at Wichita State for the Shockers back in the day, was drafted by the Detroit Pistons, and in 82 headed to the NBA draft where he was chosen by the Pistons. He spent a lot of his time with the Atlanta Hawks, I think most of his career, but he'd move over to one of those historic Chicago Bulls teams and played a pivotal role in them becoming two-time NBA champions, 91-92, alongside Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen. Other career moments to remember, there's a bunch. Italian League champion, 1994. He was on a championship roll. Two-time first-team All-MVC back in his college days in 81 and 82. Second-team All-MVC in 80. His number 54 was retired by the Wichita State Shockers, and that's pretty dang amazing. He's coaching now. He's been coaching ever since he left the game as a player that he loves so dearly. We were blessed to have him and Val on Mississippi Delta soil, taking the time to help us raise money for a lot of wonderful beneficiaries down here in the name of the arts, and we have fallen in love with them, and they can never leave now. They have to come every year. Let's welcome in the player, the coach, Cliff Levingston. What's up, Cliff?
Man, you had the big rundown on that one, man. Oh, my gosh.
Did we eat?
Good.
How'd we eat?
We ate, man. We ate. Man, did we.
Hey, let's talk about all these golf tournaments you get a chance to play in, and so do I. And you've stayed in great shape. And I know that these things can get out of control with all the fun and all that. How have you remained slim, lean, and mean and still look like you can go up and down the court with ease?
Well, you know what? I'm going to tell you, about 6 years ago, I was about 310, 315. And my better half said, look here, you better get back to playing shape before I trade you in. so I had to get in playing shape so I can be ready. So I'll get traded in. But no, you know what? I started portion controls. First I started portion controls and then doing a lot of walking. And now, you know, it's a lifestyle now. I mean, so I just eat enough to where I get full. And, you know, once I get full, start feeling that fullness, I push away. You know, you always see that last few pieces on on your plate. You be like, ooh, I can finish this off. But I've learned to just push that away, you know. And then, like I said, just healthy eating. That's all. Just changing my diet a little bit. That's all. You
look great. You look fantastic. So what was your fighting weight in the heyday?
I was at 220, 225, and I'm back down to 220. 225 now.
So you're at your playing weight. That's amazing.
Yeah, I'm at my playing weight. Yeah.
So you gained 100 pounds after you retired.
Yes, indeed. You know, it's just like I said. It was like I didn't. It's like I'm pretty sure musicians go through this too. You all your life you've always had a routine of doing this and doing that, practicing, getting ready, staying in shape. Likewise with musicians, you always working on your music, and then it's like come time when you're like, I want to just take a break from it and walk away and do nothing. And when I left the game, I said, I don't want to do no more getting in shape. I ain't got to worry about all that no more. I'm done with it. And the weight starts catching up with you because you don't change your eating habits.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah, because you were burning all those calories. That makes a lot of sense. All right. Let me dig back a little bit into your past. So you grew up in San Diego. Am I correct?
Yes, correct. I grew up in San Diego, California.
Tell me about growing up, your folks, your siblings, and then I want to know I know that you're tall, and I know that you were tall probably as a kid, but the bottom line is there's a lot of tall people that grow up that never can play basketball. So let's don't take that for granted. I know the work you put in, but take me back to, just sort of your wonder years growing up and when basketball became the thing.
Well, I started playing basketball late. I was, wanted to be a pro baseball player for the longest. And how it all happened, I had my junior high school coach. So I was in the 8th grade and he wanted me to play basketball, begged me to come out for the team. I did and I didn't. And finally got a hold of my mother and she said, just go out for the team so this man will leave me alone. So I did that. And I ended up making the basketball team. I was only about 5'11", 6 foot at that time. And he's like, you're going to be a good basketball player. I said, man, I don't like basketball. I'm just doing just to do it. And I ended up starting to like it because I hated basketball, matter of fact. But he had me working on fundamentals and drills and stuff. And I eventually caught up with everyone very fast. By my ninth grade, end of my ninth grade season, I had made the All-Star team.
And after playing a year and a half?
A year, 1 year.
1 year, okay.
And it was 1 year, but it was all the fundamentals of learning the game and understanding the game that helped catch me up with everyone else. Now, I was never the fancy guy or the guy who had all the tricks. I just knew how to get directly to the basket and do what I need to do. And that's what he showed me. You don't have to have all that fancy stuff, just get to the basket. And then I had a growth spurt of 4 inches. So that helped out. And then my leaping ability came right behind that. So it was I grew 7 inches within 2.5 years.
And what did you play in baseball? What position?
First base.
Oh, there you go. You're right-handed though, right?
Yes, indeedy.
Okay. So you played first base. Was it hard? And okay, let's stay there for a second. Was it difficult for you? You played baseball and basketball. Probably your whole high school career, right?
No, I stopped playing baseball. I stopped playing baseball after I got to high school.
Wow.
And then because high school back then started in 10th grade, so I stopped playing baseball and started focusing on basketball. Because, like I said, within that 1 year, I made the All-Star team. So I'm like, okay, well, maybe this may be something. And then I, like I said, you know how back in the day you always had that one guy in the neighborhood that everyone listens to. I mean, he's like the father of the neighborhood. And that was my high school coach, junior high school and high school coach. Everyone listened to him. And he had mentors. I mean, when I was in high school, I had one of my mentors was Dave Winfield, and the other one was named Caldwell Jones, played basketball.
Sure.
Dave played baseball with the Padres and the Yankees and all that stuff. And those are my mentors, and they used to come pick me up, and we would have to sit down, and we would talk about life stuff, not necessarily sports. We talk about sports, but life skills and what about, what do you want to do in life to enhance your lifestyle? So it was a lot of little things like that. I had great mentors to help me along the way.
It's really interesting because look what you became after your playing days. You went right from playing to being the guy that you were listening to, being mentored by your whole life. being coachable, right?
Mm-hmm.
And sort of figuring out your role. I want to talk about something that really interests me after the break, about how you chose your position and path to a successful, crazy successful NBA career. It was really interesting to me when you chose a lane. Let's take a quick break with the Hall of Famer, Wichita State Shockers. Back in the day, retired jersey 54. They can't wear that anymore. Nobody can.
Nobody.
I would like to wear it. Two-time NBA champion, him and Jordan and Pippen, and the list goes on and on. Back in the day, 1991-92, two of the greatest years of basketball history. You could argue they were the greatest team ever. Superior Catfish, I'm going to argue that there's catfish and there's superior catfish. Do the math. Go to superiorcatfish.com and visit Mississippi.org. We're the birthplace of American music. We had Cliff and Val on Mississippi Delta Soul. I can't wait to show them the rest of Mississippi. We'll be right back with the man, Cliff Levingston.
Listen and watch all your favorite SuperTalk Mississippi shows live and on demand. Listen to tons of music. Plus, get the latest breaking news from across the state with the SuperTalk Mississippi app. The SuperTalk Mississippi app. Download the SuperTalk app on your iPhone or Android device now for free. Just search SuperTalk Mississippi in your app store on your mobile device to get everything Mississippi all in one place. The SuperTalk Mississippi app. Get it now.
If you're feeling anxious about
Talk Mississippi.
When you've done all you need to do, and you've had more trouble than you can use, and you've painted every road that you can find.
Rocking into a Mississippi Minute. I love today's guest, and I've only known him like a month and a half. But when we started texting each other before the Delta Soul, our charity event, I said, is this guy not the warmest, most wonderful guy? And I don't remember him being warm and wonderful at all back in the day when he was roaming the basketball court, chasing down every rebound, being a defensive monster. He wasn't nice on the basketball court. If you were an offensive player, you had a tall task that night to be able to score in double digits. He was a special guy on the court. He's a special coach. Cliff Levingston's my guest. Superior Catfish allows me to have folks like Cliff on. Appreciate you guys. Go to superiorcatfish.com and visit Mississippi.org. Man, I'm telling you, we have hallowed ground. We're the birthplace of music, and we had some great athletes and still do to this day, like Cliff. I can tell you, Walter Payton, Jerry Rice, Brett Favre, Archie Manning, the list goes on and on and on. But hey, all right, so Cliff, you said something to me when I asked you about, when you went to the NBA and you came out of Wichita State, you told me you were 18-12 guy. Back in those days, in 1979, 80, 81, 82, to score almost 20 points a game and average 12 boards a game, that was absurd. Okay, so that was a lot of points. You had no three-pointers back then and all that. Did we have three-pointers in? Were they there?
No, it was no three-point line.
Not yet. It happened right after that. Okay, so let's talk about, you tell me you go and you show up and there's Tripucka and Lambeer and whoever. Is it Isaiah Dumas? Who's on this Pistons?
We had, when I got there, it was Isaiah Thomas, Kelly Tripucka, Bill Lambeer, John Long, and Vinnie Johnson. Those are our main guys.
So you had a lot of scorers, people that like to put it in the hole.
Yeah, and going to a team that's full of scorers, and then I got drafted with Ricky Pierce from Rice University, and he was a scorer. So it's like, wow, how am I going to get on the floor? How am I going to get time to play when scoring is a thing, but and I remember complaining to my mentor, which was Caldwell Jones, who played with the Philadelphia 76ers at the time. And I'm like, man, I'm better than this guy. I should be playing. He said, Cliff, remember this. And he said, stars come and go. Role players last a lifetime. Everyone needs that role player to make everything go. It's almost like being in a band. If you don't have a good drummer, it throws the rhythm off.
Oh, are you kidding me? The drummer, are you kidding? My drummer is so ladies on time. I mean, it is
Right.
a rhythm thing to it, and it's special. And that's been important in my whole life. So I'm with you. So keep going.
So when that happened, I started learning, okay, you know what? There's other things to do on basketball court than score. I was a good defender, good shot blocker, and a great offensive rebounder. So I used that to my advantage, and then I was fast. So I could run up and down the floor with the guards, and I could, hold my own against the bigs in the post. So that was my advantage to get on the floor. So that's how I got on the floor, playing defense, rebounding. That was my end. And that's what I try to teach the young guys, coming up today, especially in the minor leagues. You're not coming in as a star. I don't care how you slice it. You was over, your time has passed by. Now you got to find a way to get in, and you find a specialty and be good at it.
Mm-hmm.
You got to be, you can be more great at a specialty, but good at everything else, but great at one thing. So you can get on that floor, because you can have the best talent in the world. If you don't have a platform to showcase your talent, you'll never, ever, ever be seen, and you'll be passed by.
I just love that. Did it ever get boring to you, your role? Because I mean, like you're not maybe getting the head. Well, you were. In basketball, you see all the stats. So if you're a big rebounder and you're a defender in general doesn't get necessarily the attention in the headlines, but were you comfortable in that role and really happy? Like were you what do you call it? Fulfilled?
You know what though? I've always liked being an integral part, but in the background. I don't have to be in the forefront. I'm that guy who's going to do all the little stuff that sometimes don't get noticed by the general, but the real basketball people see that and understand that. And I enjoyed it. I mean, I one thing I used to love to do is set a pick to get Dominique Wilkins open. I mean, just to hear someone set a good pick on someone and hear him grunt when I hit him, that was like, yeah, I got him. So those little things, those are my little nuggets of fulfillment, And another thing I really, really enjoyed doing was sitting on the bench, watching how I can impact the game when I get in the game. And that's another lost art. Because
that's this coach thing too. I mean, right? I mean, you were priming yourself to become a coach.
No, you know what though? I never wanted to coach. Let me tell you something. Honestly, when I finished basketball, I wanted to be finished with basketball because I never wanted anyone to think of me as just a jock. I was well versed in a lot of little things, but I even had a movie editing studios and car dealerships, and I'd done a lot of things. But one thing, when I did play, I honed in on my profession. I was one of those guys who understood to be good at something, you have to study it. And I studied on the bench when I came in the game. I looked at how can I shut someone down at my position or keep the team at a certain level when I come in the game. My theme song was Kumo D, I Go to Work. Whenever I came in the game in Atlanta, they played that song for me. Like the baseball players come out, the pitchers come out. That was my theme music. I go to work.
I love it. Okay, so you've gotten to play with Dominic in the hay of Hayes days, Jordan in the hay of Hayes days. I mean, what was that like as a player when you look at those guys and they could fly? I mean, these guys could fly, but they were very unique and special. What was that like for you?
It was unbelievable. I tell people all the time, I've got a chance to not play against, play with 6 Hall of Famers, NBA Hall of Famers. Isaiah Thomas, Dominique Wilkins, Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, Moses Malone, Dikembe Mutombo.
Wow.
So,
insane.
I mean, a lot of guys can't say they played with 6 Hall of Famers, have 2 NBA championships.
Yeah. And an Italian League championship, FY.
Yeah.
Come on.
And then also being part of history you know, with Larry Bird scoring 60 on us, and when I was with the Atlanta Hawks, you know, Jordan, when he had that incredible game, he threw his hands up. Dominique Wilkins, you know, playing with Dominique Wilkins and him and Larry Bird going back-to-back Game 7. Detroit Pistons was playing against Denver Nuggets, and we had now it's number 2 most points played in a game, NBA game. So I've been part of history in the NBA, and it's like I was just having fun and enjoying the game. I wasn't trying to be part of history, but it just so happened I am part of history.
You know, not bad for a kid in ninth grade or eighth grade and a half that hated basketball.
I know.
I mean,
that's what I say.
That doesn't make any sense.
You know, and my high school coach told me one day, he held a book up in one hand, and a basketball in the other. He said the basketball will take you around the world, but this book will educate you on where in the world you are.
Wow. See the coaches and mentors you've had and the memories. You don't forget that. That's the impact it made on you. Cliff Levingston's my guest today. Let's take a quick break. Superior Catfish. Cliff can have it delivered to his house. He can go to store.superiorcatfish.com, and there it is. And he's frying it up the next night. But he has portion control, as I can tell right now.
Yes, indeed.
He's in shape. He can swing a golf club.
But but catfish is better. Hey, that catfish is all.
It's
that's
pretty
healthy.
good. It's pretty good. It is healthy. And visit Mississippi.org. Take a healthy dose of a road trip. I'm Steve Azar. We'll be right back with the fabulous Hall of Famer, Wichita State, 2-time NBA champion, Chicago Bull, Cliff Levingston.
You're just looking for a little more of less. Come on back to Memphis. Come on back to Memphis. Come on back to Memphis. Yeah. Come on back to Memphis. I'm still trying to find my way.
Up to $20,000 available for first-time home buyers. Hey folks, Steve Azar here. Helping is the heart of our friends at Guarantee Bank. They offer programs like the Homebuyer Equity Leverage Partnership Grant that can assist qualified first-time homebuyers with up to $20,000 towards down payment and provide home ownership counseling to empower you on your journey. These funds are first come, first served. Learn more about this program and to apply now, go to gbtonline.com. Guarantee Bank. Member FDIC.
From the Seabrook.
In a Mississippi Minute with Steve Azar, right here on SuperTalk Mississippi.
I watched you playing by the river, running through the cotton fields, growing up way too fast.
Yeah, you're here.
I'm walking to my doctor's appointment.
Okay, here we go. This goes quick. All right, Cliff was in the car, and now he's walking to his doctor's appointment. This is what happens on this show. This is what I love about it. 6'8", beautiful soul, beautiful heart, big old smile. What a man. What a player. NBA champion twice, Chicago Bulls, Superior Catfish. They're the champions. Go to superiorcatfish.com and visit Mississippi.org. I can't wait to take Cliff to Dancing Rabbit Golf Club, the Augusta you can play on Pearl River Resort. Spend a couple days. He's my next guest there. I'm going to take him and Val, and Quinn and I are going to do a little Phillip M's that night and hit the golf course. That's coming up. Cliff, let's talk about how you end up at Wichita State. You know, it's a long way away from San Diego.
Well, I ended up at Wichita State because, by the time I got out of high school, senior high school, I was the top 5 player in the state of California. Amazing. And I had all the California schools wanted me to be in California. But I wanted to get out of California.
Even with UCLA standing there in that history? Even with UCLA in that history?
UCLA, USC, Berkeley, Long Beach State, Pepperdine, San Diego State, all of them wanted me, but I wanted to get out. And, I went to my top three schools was Wichita State, UNLV, and Arizona State.
Was Tark still coaching? Was Tark coaching UNLV back then?
Yes, it was. And I chose UNLV. And my mother said, now we're going to go, you're going to go to Wichita State. That was my last two schools. But she said, now you're going to Wichita State. So she, like I said, mama knows right, cause I ended up going to Wichita State, led the team my freshman year in scoring and rebounding. Second year I was second and to Antoine Carr, which was my teammate. Mm-hmm. And I led him in rebounding. And then my third year I was in second in scoring and, first in rebounding, and Xavier McDaniel was my other teammate.
Wow.
So we had some powerhouse.
Was your mom, she's pivotal. What was it about your mom, and the coach of Wichita State at the time? Was there trust there that she just felt like it was the place because of the coach?
Yeah, she trusted them and what they were talking about in the system. She also trusted, UNLV because Tark, him and his wife ran the program and they had a system and everything, but she just felt that I would be more taken care of away from home with Wichita State. So that's how I ended up at Wichita State.
I mean, Kansas is like, Toto and Dorothy and all that. I've been through Kansas. I played a lot of shows in Kansas. In fact, my career, Kansas City, Missouri, which is just there, can be credited as, if I don't have that, I don't have a career. They were one of those pivotal markets. Manhattan, Kansas, some of the first places that ever played me. And I have seen in my bus going down a Kansas highway, I can argue that the Mississippi Delta is mountainous compared to Kansas. But lonely compared to that best weather in the world in San Diego. So was that homesick?
Well, no, you know what though? My first year there, I remember the first winter I was there. I'm like, what in the world did I just do? I got there. We had 20-foot snow drifts piling up everywhere because, Kansas is flat and when something hits, it just keeps going. But it was 15-foot snow drifts and I had to walk to school from the dorms and from the apartments. So it was like, whoa, what in the world I did? And then, also they had this Tornado Alley. So, I've seen tornado coming down the middle of the street. But you know what though? I love the people. The people were what sold me at Wichita. They were some of the Midwestern people were some of the nicest, genuine people I've ever met. And ever since then, I've been fond of the Midwest.
Do you think that that decision to play at Wichita State, back in those days, were NBA teams paying attention to the region, and that's why you feel like maybe the Pistons were going like, oh, there's a kid in the Midwest not too far from us? I mean, did that sort of make a difference or not?
Honestly, I wasn't even thinking about the NBA. I was just trying to get it.
No, I'm thinking about their decision. were they able to see you more or read about you more?
KU was down the street, and you had K-State. We were the little brother compared to them. With KU, with, the history they had, K-State was, they had, a guy named Rolando Blackman there. So the eyes was already there with Darnell Valentine and, Guy and David Magley. All the eyes were there. And then when we got there, the light got even brighter. With Antoine Carr, myself, and Xavier McDaniel. So it wasn't.
Right. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, it wasn't nothing that I said, well, that's what the scouts are looking at. It just happened to be the right place, the right time.
And you've gone, obviously, and you've had this incredible success, everything. When you're playing at Wichita State, when do you realize that the NBA is going to come calling when it became a real thing? Was that like your freshman year or did it take a couple years?
No, after my junior year. After my sophomore year.
So you sort of knew.
Yeah, we went to the Elite Eight and we lost to LSU in the Elite Eight. after that, that's when I said, oh, maybe I can play in the NBA. So that's when I realized, okay, maybe I do have a chance to play in the NBA. So, and then my goal was to play 4 years. I ended up playing 13.
I mean, your goal, what was the deciding factor for you to decide that you were going to play for 4 years?
Well, it's just like, I want to be able to play in the NBA and then go and have a illustrious career in broadcasting or whatever I was going to do. I didn't want to just play basketball.
When you make the move from the Hawks to
Atlanta,
if you go from Atlanta to Chicago, is that what the direction?
Yeah, and what happened was I was with the Hawks. We had just had a successful season. My favorite team was 87 Hawks. So we was the Hawks, and then what happened was we lost to Boston in a game 7. Okay, they changed the dynamics of the team. And then, so after that happened, then we didn't play well together. We had the talent, but we just didn't play well together. So then my contract was going to come up, and I started looking at championship caliber teams, and Chicago Bulls was one of the main ones. So that's how I ended up with Chicago. And then, another story, everybody says how Michael is about himself and everything. At that time, Michael wanted to win. Yeah. So I was right at the salary cap. I'm putting them over the salary cap with my salary cap that they were, we were negotiating. Mm-hmm. And Michael said, whatever it takes, defer some of my money to make sure he fits under the salary cap.
Wow. You're kidding me. Wow. That's how much
so
you
like
wanted
to say
to
this.
Wow. You got some of Jordan's money.
Yeah, that's how he wanted to win. And, yes. Mm-hmm.
Well,
so that's the most important part.
Well, let's take a quick break because I want to stay there for a minute because I don't want to wear it out because I know that you're probably asked this a lot and I want to get to your coaching and we've only got about 7 minutes left. Let's take a quick break. Cliff Livingston's my guest, Hall of Famer, Wichita State, 2-time NBA champion with the Chicago Bulls in 91-92, arguably the greatest 2 seasons. You could put them up against anybody and they'd probably win it all. In the history of basketball, they were that great. He's the coach now. Speaking of coaching, if he's going to coach you for some superior catfish, he was going to go, why would you want regular catfish when you can have superior catfish that's homegrown and produced in Mississippi? Go to superiorcatfish.com. Visit Mississippi.org. He's already walked on Mississippi soil. We're going to have him here every year, good Lord's willing. We'll be right back with fabulous Cliff Livingston and Steve Azar.
Oh, girl, take your time. Take your time. Oh, baby girl, if you really want to take your time. Take your time.
$20,000 available for first-time home buyers. Hey folks, Steve Azar here. Helping is the heart of our friends at Guarantee Bank. They offer programs like the Home Buyer Equity Leverage Partnership Grant that can assist qualified first-time home buyers with up to $20,000 towards down payment and provide home ownership counseling to empower you on your journey. These funds are first come, first served. Learn more about this program and to apply now, go to gbtonline.com. Guarantee Bank, member FDIC.
Listen and watch all your favorite SuperTalk Mississippi shows live and on demand. Listen to tons of music. Plus, get the latest breaking news from across the state with the SuperTalk Mississippi app. The SuperTalk Mississippi app. Download the SuperTalk app on your iPhone or Android device now for free. Just search SuperTalk Mississippi in your app store on your mobile device to get everything Mississippi all in one place. The SuperTalk Mississippi app. Get it now. The best.
My checks ain't bad.
got 7 minutes left, so if I can stretch that out before he checks in and goes to see the real doctor. Right now, I've got him on my couch over here. I'm his shrink today. I'm usually the one laying. Cliff Levingston's my guest. Incredible NBA career, incredible coaching career. He's been coaching for a long time, and got to spend time with him on Mississippi soil recently, and we were so grateful for him and his girl Val. They are spectacular folks, and they are now family. They're screwed for the rest of their life because they're family now. Anyway, Superior Catfish, make it your family. Have it on your skillet tonight. Go to store.superiorcatfish.com and visit Mississippi.org. As author of your official state song of Mississippi, my most grateful moment in the entertainment business, and forever will be. I just plan a road trip and go be proud of the folks in Mississippi and the places and the beautiful scenery. It's all there. Cliff, let's talk about, Levingston is my guest today. Cliff, are you checking in real quick? Let's check in with you. This is what makes this show so crazy. How you doing?
Steve,
Yeah.
I'm in the elevator going in and out.
Okay, I'll wait for you to get out of the elevator. You like that? Folks, I'm going to talk for a second. While Cliff Levingston, as you can tell, what a jewel of a man and what a career. He is on the elevator. This is what happens. I remember Michael Waltrip was on the golf course, and Coach Fox was behind a tree on the golf course. There's all sorts of times folks driving down a highway, in their garden, making a ham sandwich while they do this show. Cliff is actually going to get a checkup at the doctor. Cliff, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Let's stay focused for a second. This is right now. Cliff Levingston is my guest. Cliff, tell me about those NBA teams and what was so special about it when Michael makes the sacrifice, give rid of some of his salary to make sure that you're the guy. How great did you know that team was?
Well, it was when I first got there, and I've been playing basketball for a while. I was a seasoned veteran. And when I got there, getting to that triangle system was like, I felt like I didn't know basketball. I mean, it was like, what in the hell? And it took a while for everything to start clicking. And I remember with the second unit, Phil Jackson took us all in the office and Tex Winters after practice, and we were sitting down watching film of how to run the triangle broken up in sections. Sitting down there, it's a little video film on the reel, and making that noise. And so we sitting there watching how it broke it down, and it broke it down in pieces, and that helped us understand how to run the triangle. Once we learned that, everything just started clicking in place, and we became more efficient unit to push the first team to make them a better team. It was an aha moment when we all finally got it and started running it efficiently, and now we were competing with the first unit. Now, that's what made that team so well is you had guys that could start at other places, pushing these guys to be better.
Right. Yeah, the second team
competition
coming
was good every day.
Right, the competition. So were there times when Pippen and Jordan, I'm trying to, as a player, you know the inside, and I mean, you guys were huge to me and my friends. As far as Pippen and Jordan, were they ever off the court at the same time, or were they always one of them needed to be on the court?
No, they're off at different times because I was subbing for Scotty. See, my job, what they hired me to do is beat Scotty Pippen up every day in practice. That was my job. We would almost get into physical altercations on the floor.
Wow.
Every day. But we hung out as buddies off the floor.
I love it.
And he understood that was my job because you got to remember the 2 years before I got there, Rodman and Sally, they all beat him up. He had migraines because he wasn't used to that physicality.
Mm-hmm.
So when I got there, that was my job, beat him up, physical. Anybody coming to the paint, you got to put an elbow on them. We got used to that playing that way, so it became nothing when we played them. So every day, we would go at it every day. And when I say we go at it every day, we go at it every day. Now, the best part about that is whoever won the scrimmage had bragging rights for the day and talk as much trash as you want. That's what guys, we live for that, to go scrimmage so we can talk trash till we beat them. I remember we beating them one day. We beat them the next, we talked so much trash that, I mean, we were talking, and then we realized after that, said, man, we got to see him tomorrow. Like, damn. The next day they put a spanking on us so bad, but that was the whole thing. It was the competing, the camaraderie, and that's what pushed us over the edge, and that's what made it a dynasty. You know, like anything else, once you know the formula of how to build it, you can always rebuild it and tweak it and make it better. That was the start of getting the ball rolling with the Chicago Bulls. And like I said, I was blessed to be part of that whole getting the ball rolling. I was like, wow.
Cliff Levingston, my guest today, SuperiorCatfish.com and visit Mississippi.org. Thank you, Team SuperTalk. Much love. See you later.
I'm Steve Azar. In a Mississippi Minute, all 60 of them, where you can take your sweet time.
A SuperTalk Mississippi Media production.